Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of Chicken Soup for the Soul Runners, 101 inspirational stories of energy, endurance, and endorphins, by Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, Amy Newmark, and ultramarathoner Dean Karnassus. Performed by Christina Traister and Dan John Miller.
Introduction. When all else fails, start running. Dean Karnassus. I got sick of living the life that everybody told me I should be living, so one day I decided to start living life on my own terms. Frustrated with my job, I found myself in a bar on the eve of my 30th birthday, preparing to drink the night away. Instead, I walked out at 11 p.m. and just started running. And running. And running. I hadn't run in the past decade, and that fateful evening I ran 30 miles non-stop straight through the night. That single, inspired, okay, some may say crazy, act forever changed the course of my life. Ironically, it was my boss who provided the impetus for this departure. Perhaps a bit ahead of her time, she took particular interest in her employees' overall satisfaction instead of only monitoring workplace performance. She gave each of us a copy of Chicken Soup for the Soul and encouraged us to read a story or two. I was intrigued. This was not your typical business-related book. Many of my colleagues would hit the bars after a tough day at work. My boss would instead curl up and read some inspirational anecdotes in her book. Me, I started running as a way to decompress. But I also started reading. Interestingly enough, I found many similarities between the two. Chicken Soup for the Soul and running both nourished my inner spirit. They complemented each other perfectly. The Chicken Soup for the Soul series is a collection of uplifting and energizing short stories. The concept is simple, yet powerful. Running, too, is simple, yet powerful. By its very nature, running is a moving experience, both literally and figuratively. As any athlete can attest, running conditions the body. The stories I started reading daily in Chicken Soup for the Soul were perfect cross-training for the soul. When I was feeling lazy or unmotivated, reading a stirring and heartwarming story reinvigorated my sense of passion and commitment, and off I'd go on a run. Apparently, I'm not the only one who finds this to be the case. Since its initial release back in 1990,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?